Now I get it. The reason you click on this video is because you actually want to know how to make your first $10,000 online. I know you're tired of watching these internet gurus. I know you're tired of watching people trying to sell you something down your throat, which you cannot afford. And that's the reason you're watching this video. Now I assume that you are a high school student who's broke, living under your mom's basement, or even you're a broke college student trying to make money online because you see some Instagram reels where 16-year-olds are making way more than your parents, right? So I'm gonna finish my walk. I'm gonna go head to my workspace and I'm gonna exactly show you what you guys need to know about it. Let's get into it. So ladies and gentlemen, we are back in this workspace. Now, before we get into it, why should you listen to me? Like, you might be wondering that who is this guy talking about telling me how I can make my first $10,000. Over the years, I've been documenting my journey, and in the online space, I've made thousands of dollars. I can put my screenshot. In fact, by the way, I made $1,000 last week. I can put my screenshot of my Stripe account. Gifted myself this watch, bought my mom a brand new car. So I know what I'm talking about. I myself have made thousands of dollars doing the online business. So my goal eventually was to teach you guys in this whiteboard, but I don't know, for some reason, when I turn it on, the brightness of that screen just blurs my entire screen. I don't know what's the issue, but anyways, I'm gonna try my best to drop some sauce for you guys. And by the way, guys, this video is not gonna be edited very well, right? I won't have this clickbait thumbnails and have a bunch of animations. If you like that type of content, then go watch your internet gurus. Go watch Iman Gadzi and fry your brain watching those animated videos. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep it real, talk real, and show the reality, what it actually takes to run an online business. Now, you have been watching these internet gurus, right? Let's be honest, right? You have been trying your best to, so you've been trying your best, making something out of it. You're watching these YouTube videos, nothing works out, you are just stuck in the middle of nowhere. And that's where they come in and sell you a course. But let me tell you something about running an online business. If you're starting out, if you're brand new, you're just going through SMMA, drop shipping, going through a bunch of business models, thinking that something is going to click in and you're going to make some money. Well, let me tell you, my friend, you're sadly mistaken. Because the number one thing you need to understand in order to make money, and I'm saying based on my experience because I've made thousands of dollars myself, is that you got to have skills, right? Number one most important thing that you need to have is skills. Nobody's going to pay you their money to you if you don't have any skills, right? So the reason I make money and the reason a lot of people make money is because they have skills. And you probably heard this by some, guru as well, like telling you, oh, you got to learn some high income skill, you got to learn this. And that's potentially right, because you have to be so good at stacking up the skills that when you go in the marketplace and say, hey, I got this bunch of skills, I'm going to go and do it for free. And if you like it, hire me. Or you might be wondering, well, why should I do it for free? I spend hours of studying these skills and why should I go? And that's a problem, ego. Keep your ego aside. That's number two. Most of you guys watching this, you have ego. Although you might say, I don't have ego, but you do have ego, because now you're saying that, hey, I've learned how to run Facebook ads. I've learned how to run, Pinterest ads. I know a lot of things about marketing. Why should I do this for free? That's a problem, right? So myself, I run a content creation agency, right? I've been in the content space for way long. I've been doing this for now almost 4 years now. And if you guys see my past YouTube videos, which unfortunately Google account kicked me out of my account. I don't know why, but anyways, I've been documenting my journey since day one. I started making videos on how to grow on social media, right? That was my first videos on how to grow social media on Instagram, followers and all those sort of things. So I've been in the content space for a while. And I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm doing content. How can I be the best at doing it? How can I, have that competitive advantage? So over the past years, I've mastered content. I exactly know how to make viral videos. By the way, in fact, when I signed my first client, in the first 60 days, the long form YouTube video got 500,000 views. And his subscribers went up to the roof. We started working with him at, 26,000 subscribers. In 60 days, this guy was like 45K subscribers. Why? Because I'm good at what I do, right? And that's the reason you guys need to understand that if you're learning some skills, you gotta be the best at it. Nobody can take away that from you, right? You gotta be the best. You gotta be that, king of that market. You have to dominate that sector, because once you dominate that particular skills that you learn, and you go in the marketplace and you are so confident that people, you know what, hey, Mr. John, I can help you go viral in the first 60 days. If you don't see that result, you don't pay me a dime. Who on earth would say no to that offer? If you guys come up to approach me and say, hey, you know what, Owais, I know I can help you create viral content in the next 60 days. If I don't do that, you don't pay me a dime. Of course I'm going to say yes. That's a good offer, right? So you have to learn a skill and package it in a way that people feel stupid to say no. This is something I learned from Alex Hormozi, saying this, that packaging your offer is one of the most important things. You have a skill, package it in the best way possible, get them together and go in the marketplace and sell it. So number one was skills. You got to learn some skills. The more skills you stack up, listen, I'm not even kidding here. I'm not here to sell you anything. This is the raw reality of running an online business itself. This is the whole fundamental of running a business. If you stack up more skills, the marketplace is going to reward you for that. If you're good at sales, if you're good at marketing, if you're good at advertising, if you're good at doing content, if you are good at a bunch of these things, trust me, in a few years, when you go in the marketplace and say, hey, you know what, I can offer this and I'm confident about it, the marketplace will reward for your effort. Don't be like these gurus, okay, tell you, oh, how can you make the first $10,000 online in the next 30 days? And at the end of the video, they pitch you their service, which is a $97 course, which you cannot even afford, right? Because you're dead broke, let's be honest, right? You're watching this video because you are dead broke. You're living in your mom's basement and you're actually figuring out how on earth can I make money. I've made thousands, as I said, I've made $10,000 online myself. I'm telling you based on my experience that has been working. You learn a skill, go do it for free. By the way, learn that skill, be so good at it, and then go in the market and do it for free. First 3 months, you're not going to make any money. First 6 months, you're not going to make any money. Oh, well, I want to make money. That's the problem. You guys got an ego. You want to get rich quick. That's not possible, because you got to make your name in the marketplace. Nobody's going to pay you if you have no establishment in the market. I remember when I started to, pitching these people, and people were like, oh, have you done this? Have you done this before? I was like, no. Then why should I hire you, right? And that's where it clicked, and I said, okay, I gotta be so good at it. Go in the market, provide free value. Maybe 2 months, 3 months, I'm gonna do it for free. I don't care. But then they're gonna see the results, and they're gonna say, you know what? He knows what he's talking about. And that's how I get myself a deal, right? That's one thing. Learn skills. The number one thing that you can ever do is learn skills. Be so good at it. And then eventually you're going to go in the marketplace and sell it. That's the whole fundamental of making money. Nobody's going to tell you this, because everybody wants to sell you something. That's it. So yeah, guys, if you want to know more about it, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.